Hey everybody, it's the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition, playing a little pitch and catch with my nephew Caleb.
Hey guys.
He's the next Jerry Rice. Want to show him?
Yeah,
Let's
do
go.
it.
You're gonna love this. Ready, set, go! Let's start the show.
Hey you guys, I'm Venus Monique from the hit crime drama Vindication, and you guys should definitely make sure you're catching the Maurice Brown Show on Roku TV.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition with my good buddy Aaron Moore. What's up, Aaron? What's happening, brother?
It's all good. What's going on?
Man, it's all good. We are missing Antoine Real Stewart today. Aaron Moore is filling in for him, former tight end for the Bowie State football team. And I tell you what, right now, dude, it's so much stuff going on right now in the NFL. I really don't quite know where to start because you are our star of the State of the Washington football team segment. So we're going to give that all to you in just a moment. But we're going to go over some of the final scores of the NFL on Sunday. It was a wild, wild week, to say the very least. And we start out with the Washington football team losing 20-16. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak on that right now, Aaron. Your thoughts?
Eagles knew they had a huge opportunity in front of them when they came in. They went out, they in. As simple as that. They come in, they win, they in. So I believe they had they was real confident, even though they was down early, that as long as they stay close to Washington, they can come back and make a game of it and put the game in Heineke's hands.
Yeah.
And actually that's what I wanted to happen. I wanted Heineke to have that last drive to see if he could take us down the field and put us in the end zone. And he couldn't do it. No. I'm glad that was the scenario where he couldn't do it, but Eagles came out and they played a full game.
Yeah. You know, the thing about Heineke is he wasn't ready for the big moments down the stretch. Not only that, you had COVID-19 strike the Washington football team in a big, big way. There were injuries, and you don't want to make excuses. However, these things did happen to the Washington football team. They were playing very well. Everybody was playing very well. And all of a sudden, what could go wrong did go wrong for the Washington football team, and they are on the outside looking in. Once again, they will not make the playoffs. And I'm going to say it right now. This is the reality. As long as Daniel Snyder is the owner of the Washington football team, this will continue to happen.
I hope not.
And I look, dude, I hate to say that, but it's been 20 freaking years, 23, 24. And they just haven't been able to put it together over there.
I would say this about Dan Snyder. It took him a long, long time since he came in. Jerry, he's trying to model Jerry Jones. And we saw it when Dallas brought their own benches to FedEx Field. I don't know if you knew that. Dallas brought their own benches to FedEx Field. So what the Snyder did, we took our benches to Philly.
Yeah, and proceeded to get whipped 56-14. Good job, Dan.
And then we took it to Dallas. He's trying to copy Jerry Jones and Jerry Worth, but he has done a better job of getting out the way and putting football people in position with Jason Wright, and Doug Williams. So he has put people in position to take not only thing Ron Rivera, of course, but only thing he has to do is just get out the way.
That's all he's good.
I remember my dad used to tell me stories of the Cook family. And he said Cook used to call down to Joe Gibbs and he'd be like, Joe, what's going on? We're on a 2-game losing streak, and Gibbs be like, I'm on it, and
Yeah.
cook it up, and that's it. you know,
Well,
he
you know,
he
yeah.
didn't, he didn't really get involved. And
Jack Kit Cook was more interested in racing horses. He
yeah,
said, listen, I want you to, he said, Joe, I just want you to win.
yeah.
Okay? That's what I expect you to do. You win for me, and that's all I ask. And he got out of the way and went to the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Don
So,
Snyder needs some type of other hobby or something just to get out the way and just let the football people handle football decisions. And then when they call you on the phone, you pick it up and you handle whatever business you got to handle and just let do marketing because that's what you're good at. Do marketing.
yeah. Yeah, and again, Murphy's Law slammed the football team once again. What could go wrong did go wrong this season. A very talented team they are, and again, they have to sit at home. We move on to Green Bay and the Vikings. Green Bay has now sealed the number one seed in the NFC playoffs. So this is the second year in a row that they've done that. The Packers will have no excuse of not going to the Super Bowl this year. If they don't get it done, they won't have any. You can blame Matt LaFleur. You can blame Mason Crosby. You can blame Aaron Rodgers, and you can blame those cheeseheads that are sitting up there. This is it for the Green Bay Packers. Let's see what happens. We're going to talk more about them and the Super Bowl a little bit later on. Rams barely get by the Ravens. They're 12-4. They won the game 20-10. And barely that game to me leaves me with question marks for the Rams. What do you think about that? Even though they won, I'm going I don't know. What do you think?
I have a question mark over the quarterback.
Yeah,
He has
Matt
to,
Stafford.
he has to cut down on them turnovers. If he don't throw that six pick, then it's not a one possession. It's not a 1 point game.
This is what Matt Stafford does. Okay, he's a really good quarterback, but he will give the rock away as well, and he's got a history of that going back to Detroit. And that's one thing everyone conveniently forgot because he was in Detroit. Matt Stafford made his share of mistakes when he was there with the Lions. And to your point, he almost cost him that game. Matt Stafford has got to step up going into the postseason. No question about that. The Bucs yesterday, not yesterday, but Sunday, 28-24 over the Jets. Didn't like that win. The Bucs have been playing ugly football.
They might be in trouble.
Yeah. I look, Antonio Brown. Do you have any idea what was it that set him off and it made him act that way and leave the field?
So apparently, coach told him to go back in the game, and he said no.
Okay.
And he kept asking him to go back in the game, and he said no. Apparently, he didn't want to play because of an ankle injury or some sort of injury he had. And coach was telling him he said no, so that was it. He took his shoulder pads off, threw him on the bench, took his shirt off, and he waved goodbye.
Yeah. And he's – dude, can you give me that off right there, babe? Yeah, but the thing about it is I think the Bucs have been playing ugly football. I mean, you're struggling with the Jets for real? I mean, Tom Brady does it again. It was the last 2 minutes, and he did it again. You shouldn't have to do that against the New York Jets. And then the week prior to that, they barely beat – who was it that they no, I'm sorry. They lost to the Saints 9-0. And now you're going into the postseason without Antonio Brown. Do you think that's going to be an issue for the Bucs?
Yes, because you have two weapons. You have Mike Evans, and then you have Gronk.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They're going to double one of them. One of them is getting doubled, and then you only got one. And then they haven't really been running the ball as they were before, as more consistent on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
effectively. And so it's I think it's going to be tough for them to advance past the second round in the playoffs if they don't get it together. Now they still have the GOAT.
Yeah, still got the GOAT.
It's hard to bet against Brady, but
Yeah, it's hard to bet against them. I just don't like the way the Bucks are playing right now,
Actually,
and you know
they are winning.
they're winning, but I'm telling you, they've got some things they need to shore up. And Antonio Brown leaving the field the way that he did the other day
That's
doesn't bode well for the Bucks going into the postseason. I'm not going to buy into. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid and say they're done. I'm not doing that because I know Tom Brady is that kind of dude that will go in there and win the Super Bowl again. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So I'm not going to go that far. But I don't like the way they're looking right now. Chicago 29-3 over the Giants, meaningless game. Titans over the Dolphins. What's interesting about the Titans' win over the Dolphins is getting A.J. Brown back and Julio Jones back meant a lot for Tannehill. And I understand they're going to get Derrick Henry back. Here comes Tennessee.
Yeah, they get Derrick Henry back. It's just how effective he'll be when he come back. But getting them two studs on the outside back, that's gonna be that was huge. And
Oh,
they
yeah,
came back at the right time too.
they did. They came
Ready
back
for
at the absolute right time.
Mhm.
So the Titans are starting to look kind of scary. The Patriots did what they were supposed to do over Jacksonville. They beat them like they stole something from them, 50-10. The Bills had a very ugly win in the snow over Atlanta. They won the ball game 29-15. They more or less did what they were supposed to do to a team like Atlanta. But there's something very, untrustworthy about Josh Allen and the Bills. Do you get that vibe about Buffalo?
Well, they haven't been consistent. I think they go as Josh takes them.
Yeah.
They just haven't been consistent, and also the defense and their run game. I mean, the defense is stopping the run. I think those two things has to get looked at before they enter the playoffs.
Now, here's a shocking one right here. The Raiders over the Colts, okay, on Sunday. And I'm looking at this game here, and I'm going, all right, the Raiders have talent, and they've had a lot of personal issues that have attacked their team this year, and they've not really been a good ball team for the most part. But they're showing a little bit of moxie down the stretch. I don't understand how the Colts allowed the Raiders to go into their house and win this ball game. And I'm looking at, and I think the issue, I don't know, your opinion of that one.
I didn't see that whole game, but
Yeah.
one thing about the Raiders, if you look back on their season, they had a lot of close games, a lot of overtime games, and they pulled a lot of close games out. And they fight, they fight to the end. They ain't giving up. And what they 9-7,
They're 9-7, yeah.
9-7 after your head coach gets fired, and then y'all hold on, and then y'all possibly in the playoffs. That's that's I can't. And I would say this:
Yeah.
Carr has been playing except not. I ain't gonna say exceptional, but he's been playing. He's been playing well, very well. Coming down the
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah. Maybe that pimp slapping they got by the Chiefs when they went out there like idiots and stood on their logo maybe woke them up. I don't know. But they've been playing, some good football of late, and so it was a shocking win. The Bengals over the Chiefs on Sunday was also somewhat surprising. The Bengals are sneaky scary.
That was my surprise team for this year, and people laughed at me too.
Yeah.
I said, "Watch the Bengals." And they was like, "Bengals ain't doing nothing this year." I said, "Okay, Joe Burrow, he's the truth,
Yeah,
and
he is.
he's the truth, and this is swag, And plus the chemistry he got with his receiver they brought in. Uh, so they have a running game, they have a receiving game, passing game. They have a defense. So Bengals can make a run in the playoffs.
Well, when Joe goes for the stogie for that Cubano and lights that joint, hey, he's getting ready to do some damage in the playoffs. Watch out. Here comes Cincinnati. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so then you look at the 49ers winning over the Texans. I think that's a totally meaningless win, even though it was with the rookie Trey Lance. The 49ers do have an opportunity to sneak into the playoffs. The Cardinals over the Cowboys. Here's the game right here where you look at the Cowboys and you go, okay, you're at home. You're dealing with a Cardinal team that's struggling. In fact, was pimp slapped by the Detroit Lions 2 weeks prior to this, and you let them get away. You let them get away. You had an opportunity to get home field throughout the playoffs. You would have been tied with Green Bay with a meaningful, final game of the year, and you let them off the hook.
I knew it. Cowboys are not a contender. They're
Okay.
they're not in the top, whatever you say in the NFL. I don't care what their record says.
Yeah.
They haven't played nobody. And this was the first time that they had
Yeah.
a chance to say, we're playing a caliber team, we're playing a playoff team.
Yeah.
They come into our house.
Yeah.
Let's win this game and show them that we are more than what some people we are more than what we are America's team. Let's show them.
That's it.
But they not. The cowgirls showed up.
Oh.
They showed up, and they're not going nowhere in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been saying it all year. They haven't played nobody. As soon as they play a real team, this is going to be the results.
This is what happens. And again, the Cardinals were a team that was reeling. They weren't even playing good football, and you couldn't seal the deal. And you just look at Dallas and you go, man, I don't know what to think about these guys. And Dak's sitting up there talking about, I don't care if we have to go out to their place or they come here. We'll see them again. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, John Wayne. Okay,
Okay.
you got to back that up now. So I don't know. You're right. The Cowboys, dude. I don't know what to think about them. I'm kind of done with taking them seriously. The Steelers are still. They got a heartbeat for the playoffs. They beat the Browns 26-14. Big Ben gets the win in probably his final game at Heinz Field. So a good win for Pittsburgh, but I'm not looking, for anything from them. The Saints 18-10 over the Panthers. They have an opportunity to sneak in. They're on the bubble, the Saints, believe it or not. And then the Seahawks whip the Lions 51-29. Another meaningless ball game there. And I think the final one that we want to look at from Sunday was, my gosh, I think that was the last one. So now we want to, for like a couple of minutes, what is the skinny on the state of the Washington football team, Aaron? What you got, buddy?
I think what we all know now is they're in the market for a quarterback.
Okay.
So right now, um, that's what it is. You can't. It's hard to win in this league on a consistent basis without a real quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterback that can make all the throws, not a quarterback that just. I mean, give props to Heineke. He did what he can do, but he just don't have it. You see the difference with him and Kyle Allen in his arm. It's a totally different
Yeah.
when Allen comes in and just throws that ball. You just see it.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that Ron Rivera and the offensive staff know that okay, we need a quarterback. We can't go through next year. I think that's going to be the number one priority is to find a quarterback, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, even Derek Carr. You
Okay.
need a legit quarterback going into next season, especially with the revealing. Uh, 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 they're going to reveal the New Jerseys and the name February 2nd.
What's the skinny? What have you heard any rumors as to what that name may be?
So the rumors are Commanders.
Okay.
Um, Commanders, I think it was Commanders or Generals. The Red Wolves and the Wolves were already patented, so Dan Snyder didn't want to pay the money to take that patent. So that's the word. Whether it's true or not, But at the end of the day, you still got to win.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
they
that's the
was
bottom line.
they used to be what, the Boston Braves, and then they moved.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I mean, I'm sure people was like Washington Redskins. What is that? I don't, But when they started winning, it started catching. Same thing with the if it's the Commanders, Washington Commanders. If we win, people gonna be running around here in Commander uniforms.
Look, dude, I'm gonna say this. And this is gonna make some people mad, but I mean, it is what it is. I look at it like this. I understand, hey, we got to change your name. Yeah, we don't want to offend people. We're living in the age of the cancel culture,
Yep.
and everybody gets mad about everything. And I'm a stand-up comic. I go out, man. You got to watch what you say because you may offend somebody at a comedy show. How do you offend someone at a comedy? So it's just kind of ridiculous, man. And then you're looking at the name, and it's like, okay, so if they've been the Redskins for all these years, they've been winning and doing this, that, and the other. Nobody cared. Nobody even thinks about this stuff. And so now we're at this point where they're going to change the name and all. There are other teams out there that have fallen victim, as the Washington football team has, to their logo and their what their nickname is. So, okay, we'll see what happens. They're going to reveal the new name on February 2nd. What's up, Aaron?
But I was thinking with Dan Snyder messed up at, I would have brought so many different tribes, so many different Indian tribes.
Yeah.
I would have got a horse with an Indian on it, and that would have been my pregame, man. We would have had a pregame of Indian horses running out on the field with Indians and all this stuff, and I would have had a
Yeah.
culture that, like, I would have embraced everybody, all of them, to come and embrace. I think he messed up on that fact. I think if he would have did that a long time ago, it may not have got to this point.
I totally agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. It all comes down to ownership, man, and it's unfortunate. The Washington football team once again have to go to the crib and watch the playoffs again after a promising year. They did make the playoffs last year and showed out pretty well against the Bucs, but unfortunate the way things have turned out for them this particular time around. Now we're going to switch gears, and we're going to look at some of the playoffs situations and/or scenarios. Usually we have Antoine Real Stewart here to kind of give us his top 5 NFC, AFC. But now we're at the point where it's like, okay, now we're looking at the playoff scenarios. And so we start out with the AFC, and we got the Titans with the number 1 seed at 11-5. The Chiefs at 11-5 with the number 2 seed. And again, here comes the Bengals. They take the number 3 seed as of today at 10-6. 10-6. The Bills are at number 4 at 10-6. The Patriots are at number 5 at 10-6. And then in the hunt, you got the Chargers at 9-7. The Colts did themselves a huge disservice on Sunday, dude. I'm sorry, and I keep talking about this. And, yeah, I respect the Raiders' fight. They come to fight. I'll give them that. But if you're rolling like you are with Jonathan Taylor, and you mean to tell me you're not going to run him down their throat, dude, just run the guy down their throat. I mean, they're hurt. They're reeling. Their backs are against the wall. Run them down their throat, man, and win the ball game. And Frank Reich is so enamored with Carson Wentz. Hey, dude, stop with the love affair with Carson Wentz, man. Give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. It's too easy. It is too freaking easy to win some of these games, man. And I sit around on my couch watching these games with a bag of Doritos, man. What do I can see that. And then another guy is Kevin Stefanski with the Browns. I'm like, dude, give the ball to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and get out of there.
I was watching the Peyton Manning show. Peyton Manning was saying that same thing. He was like, what, you saving them for the playoffs? He's like,
right. What are you saving this guy for the playoffs? I mean, I don't know. Antoine, yeah. Oh, man. So, Antoine Hopp says 22 years of ineptitude and counting for the Washington football team. You're 100% correct,
100%
Antoine.
correct. 100%
100% correct, dude. And I said it before. I'll say it again. I have no problem saying it. Daniel Snyder has been a horrible owner for the Washington football team, and it just is what it is. We'll see what happens. But, Antoine, great comment. Anyway, that being said, Chargers 9-7, Colts 9-7. Raiders are 9-7 with an opportunity to even sneak into the playoffs. And then you got the Steelers at 8-7-1 on the bubble, and the Ravens at 8-8 also on the. I think the Ravens are done, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Ravens are done, and I think the Steelers are done. If the Steelers win, they still need the Jaguars to win.
Yeah.
And you putting your money on the Jaguars to win, it ain't looking too good.
And no, it's not looking too good at all, unless you're trying to be homeless. But yeah, but that's the deal in the AFC. Then we switch over to the NFC, and we got Green Bay at 13-3 with a fairly meaningless game. No, it is a meaningless game. Here's a question for Green Bay going into this final game. Aaron Rodgers' toe has been hurting him like a billy for the last month and a half. Doesn't practice. It's a good time to put Jordan Love in there and let him go out there and see what he can do. What do you think of that?
I think I allowed Aaron Rodgers to play probably first drive.
Okay.
This is stay in the rhythm, and after that I'll pull him. And
Yeah.
then put Aaron Love in.
I think that's what they'll probably do. I think Matt LaFleur was saying during his press conference today that 3 weeks with the seed. If we lay down against the Lions, then we have the first round bye. Then we do our first playoff game 3 weeks from today, and it's like that's too long for starters to be sitting.
Yeah.
So to your point, he will probably let the first team go of maybe a quarter, and get out of there. And then I would definitely let Jordan Love take it from there just to get him some experience, because after what I watched in Kansas City, he needs it. And I mean bad. And like, gee whiz. And now we got the Rams at 12-4. They're the number 2 seed, and you accurately stated that their concern is Matt Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have to be very concerned that this guy may give up a ball game.
Because turnovers in the playoffs, they triple.
Yeah.
They triple.
So yeah.
Can't be
I totally agree.
3 times and expect to win in the playoffs.
Man, I can't tell you as a Packer fan how many times I watched Matt Stafford do that in Detroit. He were looking this way, and all of a sudden, pick 6, bro. Pick 6. There it is. He will do it. Matt Stafford will do that. I like what you said, man. That right now has to be their only concern. Can we make sure that Matt doesn't give the ball game away? And he's a very good quarterback, but he'll give it away. The Bucs at 12-4, they have the number 3 seed, and again, they don't look good, but hey, they got Tom Brady, man. So we don't want to drink the Kool-Aid and go, yeah, I don't like the way they're playing. They got Tom Brady, and as long as he's upright, the NFL is going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, 4 seed. 11-5. The Bamas had an opportunity. I'll say it again. The Bamas had an opportunity to seal up an opportunity to get the number 1 seed. They would have been tied with Green Bay, and potentially have that shot, and they blew it. Mm-hmm. They let the Cardinals come in there and really knock them out. Let's see, Chris Rossetti. Any hope for my lowly Niners? No, Chris. No, you know what? I'll say, Chris. In all seriousness, Chris, I think that the 49ers will probably make the playoffs, but they are a team that's not, as we speak, they are not definitely in right now. The Eagles have locked it up at number 6, believe it or not, but the 49ers are actually in the hunt at 9-7. So they have some business still to take care of to get in there. The Saints are on the bubble. That's what you call mathematically alive. But they're not a serious contender. But I like the Eagles getting in here. Even though, they're 9-7 and whatnot. If I'm gonna say this, I don't know how the pairings are gonna go down when the playoffs actually begin. But I'm gonna say this. This is the kind of team that can knock the Cowboys right out of the playoffs.
It is. They could lock. I think that the Eagles, if they got paired up by the Bucks, I think that they could sleep up and take out the Super Bowl last Super Bowl champions.
Oh yeah,
I
they absolutely could.
yeah, I would sleep on the Eagles.
That's a team that I would not sleep on. I don't know that I would feel very comfortable drawing them in the first round. The Eagles look kind of scary, and I think with the way things are kind of stacking up right now, it looks like the Rams, if the playoffs started today, would probably, they would probably be hosting the Eagles. And the Bucks would end up hosting if the 49ers were to make it in. I think the Bucks would. I think two playoff teams play. I'm sorry, two wild cards play one another, and then the third wild card goes on the road against a division winner. I believe it works out to be something like that. But anyway, Chris Rossetti talking to us live from San Francisco with the football emojis. Yes, Chris, you're excited. I understand. I get it. I totally get it. But that being said, that's the breakdown. Now, before we go deeper into the next week's games, let's talk about Antonio Brown a little bit. What's next for Antonio Brown?
On a serious note, you see the NFL talking about mental health a lot.
Okay.
And this is not the first time we've seen it act like this from Antonio Brown. It's been
No.
it's been multiple other times. Now, does he truly need help? Did he do it for attention? Is he going to try to come back? Which I don't think he going to be able to. I think this was his last draw. I don't think no other team going to want to pick him up.
No.
I could see him going somewhere to play in that spring NFL league or something like that. I could see him doing something crazy.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. I could see him doing that.
I just hope that he get, people in his corner. I know Tom Brady has some type of infatuation with him and close friendship with him. Other players, I know Michael Strahan was talking about him, saying he hoping he get the help he need. What you don't want to happen is something tragic story to come out of this, but hopefully he just get the help that he needs, because that's not normal behavior.
Well, it's not normal behavior, but he's exhibited this kind of behavior for a few years now. And Tom Brady really saved his career, and he blew an opportunity to really get back into the good graces of the NFL, the league, the fans. He blew the opportunity. I mean, Tom Brady invited him to stay in his home. He gave the guy an honest to goodness shot, and it looked like it was going to work out. But the guy started passing around these daggone Monopoly vaccine cards, to people. I mean, dude, I mean, what are you doing? And he gets caught for that, and that was really, I think, the beginning of the end for Antonio.
And I don't understand that. You're an NFL player. Just be like, no, I don't want it, and then move on, and then just do the things that you have to do because you're not vaccinated.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
I don't understand it, dude, and I feel sorry for him. And I give Tom Brady 100% props for just staying on the high road with Antonio Brown. And even after the antics at the ball game, Tom said, "Look, we love Antonio Brown, and we're wishing the best for Antonio. Unfortunately, he's not a Buck anymore, but I just hope he can get the help that he needs. I think he's an upstanding guy, and on and on and on, a lot of positive things, and I respect the heck out of Tom Brady for that. I mean, that just shows you the kind of stand-up person that he is, and I really appreciate Tom for just at least being a decent human being. Switching gears to Baker Mayfield, is he a now legitimate first-round draft bust?
Bust, that's a big word, man.
Yeah.
Most people say bust because if you're drafted in the first round, which a lot of quarterbacks were drafted in the first round.
Yeah. He was the number 1 pick overall, though.
But I'm talking about number 1 overall pick. I'm not just talking about drafting first round. Like you said, number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He's had success in this league, though.
Yeah,
Last
he's had success.
he,
He's had some success. Hey, look, let me just say, yeah, go go ahead, Eric, break it down, bro.
last year he did well. Now,
Yeah.
is he your drop back quarterback, throw 40, 45 times a game? No, he's not.
No. No.
He's not that quarterback.
No.
Now, if he's your quarterback where the Browns they got 2 studs at running back, when you're gonna run the ball majority of the time and you're gonna drop back and pass 20, 25 times a game,
Yeah.
he's the guy.
Yeah.
So it depends what type of offense you're trying to run when you say bust, but he's had success in this league and he's threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, he's had these stats, but he just haven't had it more on a consistent basis. And then just
Yeah.
like when was it Baltimore? He threw the interception.
Baltimore, I'm not sure. He's had so many picks that he's thrown. I don't know, Eric.
But it's always the problem with Baker Mayfield is he throws picks in so many crucial situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the main problem. And you like, is he your guy? But I'm like, okay, you get rid of him. Who you get? Aaron Rodgers not going to Green Bay. I mean, not Green. Aaron Rodgers not going to Cleveland.
No.
Russell Wilson not going to Cleveland.
No.
Who's going to Cleveland? That's
Yeah.
better. That's better than Baker Mayfield. I mean, they picked up his option, his option. So apparently, he probably be back next year for at least 1 more year. But I mean, the problem is people want to get rid of somebody so quick, but they have no replacement. I'm like, who are you going to replace this guy with?
Let me say this. Let me say this. It's going to sound a little harsh, but here's the reality: Baker Mayfield is an exceptional quarterback. He's not great though.
Yeah,
he's not elite, and he's not a first round pick overall worthy guy. He's not. He's just an overhyped quarterback.
He was the best in that draft, though.
He may have been, but here's the thing about Baker Mayfield. You've seen in games where he's not tall enough to make the throws because the guys that are coming in on him, he's got to look around him or throw over them, or he'll throw a pick blind because he didn't see the receiver. He was just throwing to where the receiver was supposed to be. But gosh, if you can't see where you're throwing, so that's one of his issues. He's not super fast, and he played injured for most of the year, so I'll give him a little bit of credit for that. However, sit down. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not MJ, dude. Sit
Yeah, he should have.
down.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we need you to be one. You're the kind of guy that needs to be 100% healthy. Yeah, I got to take it for the team, though. No, you don't. No, Baker, you don't. Sit down. Someone should have done that, and they let him play anyway because he wanted to be this tough guy, and he's not that guy. And you have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Kevin Stefanski is a very good play caller, and you allowed. This is why they played well last year, is because they let that running game speak for itself, and Baker is good enough to clean it up.
Exactly.
Like, he can win ball games for you.
Yeah.
But don't ask him to do too much. To your point, 40 to 50 times a game throwing the ball, that's not who he is. He can't do that. And if they don't figure this out, and this is where a coach can end your career, by not understanding who you are as a player. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. I people make excuses for Baker Mayfield all the dadgum time. And Matt Fortney says, would you take Baker over Taylor? Taylor who? Oh, Heineke. Oh.
Heineke. I think I would take Baker. I would.
Well,
I
yeah.
think I would take Baker because he's a more complete quarterback than Taylor Heineke. At least
Yeah.
Baker can make all the throws. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good Matt. You caught me off guard on that, Matt.
I
Because
think I would
see,
take Baker. Most people probably scold me for that, but I
well,
would.
no, look. I don't think that's a hard answer. I mean, of course, I would take Baker over Heineke, but I just think that Mayfield is being asked to be Aaron Rodgers or
Mhm.
Tom Brady or Drew Brees. He's not that guy. That's the issue I have with Mayfield and how he is perceived, and I think that he's protected by coaches and the media, and I just don't. I don't get it. And they're going home. They're going to the crib. Okay. They're going to eat every bit of that fog coming off that lake this year.
Yeah.
They're going to be at home. But anyway, that being said, Steve Young wasn't tall enough. Jason Earl said, threw blind all the time. Well, Steve Young,
Jerry Rice.
yeah, he had Jerry Rice. He had a lot of things going for him. I don't.
Yeah, Miss Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, just Jerry Rice covers over a lot of sins on the football field. That's for daggone sure. But no, Fortney agrees with you, Aaron. He agrees with you. And I would definitely take Mayfield over Taylor Heineke. But no one is expecting Taylor Heineke to be Superman. They're expecting Baker Mayfield to be Superman every Sunday.
That's true. That's totally true. 100% true.
And now So now moving forward, let's preview some of these games we got coming up on the final week in the NFL, and there's a little bit of drama remaining still. On Saturday, we got the Chiefs and the Broncos at 4:30. Now this game is meaningless. Of course, we know that. I think, but no, this game is actually important for the Chiefs because the number 1 seed is still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though today Tennessee holds it, they could lose that number 1 seed. So the Chiefs need to go out there and, mop up the Broncos real good and do their part. Cowboys later on that day have the Eagles. From what I understand, Jerry Jones is going to play the starters in this game. So it sounds like a punishment game for Dallas. Just get out there and I'll tell you what. Anyway, that's a fairly meaningless game. I think their seeds are locked.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday, we got the Packers and the Lions at 1 o'clock. Green Bay will probably give Aaron a little bit of spot duty and probably sit him down as well as the rest of the starters, which would be the smart thing to do. Aaron Rodgers got that toe. This is a good time to heal that up. The Colts and the Jaguars. Meaningless game there. Colts are pretty much locked in, I believe, at their 7 seed. They might be able to move up and get a 6. You never know. The Giants and the Washington football team. Once upon a time, this was a game that could have meant something for the football team. It does not any longer. That's going to be at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Bears and the Vikings at 1 on Sunday, a meaningless game. Mike Zimmer might be gone at the end of the year. What do you think about that, Aaron?
Mike Zimmer, he's a good coach.
Okay.
Now, this question.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's upset they got Kirk Cousins.
Now,
He's upset if they got Kirk Cousins.
Okay, rephrase the question again. If who got Kirk Cousins?
Vikings.
Okay, you were
Zimmerman, right?
Yeah, Mike Zimmer. You're saying he was upset that they got Kirk?
I don't. Well, I'm not sure 100%, but I don't know if that was his first choice.
Oh no, he did not want Kirk Cousins. He did not. he did not want him. Matt Fortney is talking about Baker Mayfield here. He says he threw for over 4,600 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 6 picks his senior year and won the Heisman. The only problem is, Iowa. He can't play Iowa anymore. That's kind of the only problem there. But anyway, no. Hey, look, Matt, Baker Mayfield is an exceptional quarterback. He's certainly not a bum. I mean, the guy is a good QB. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think he's a little overhyped. That would be my point about Baker Mayfield. But getting back to these games, we got the Titans and the Texans at 1 p.m. and this game means something to Tennessee. Now, after they destroy Houston and make the Texans, and make no mistake, that's what they're going to do. After they destroy Houston, I think the tiebreaker would go to the Titans, and they'll get the number 1 seed throughout. Chiefs have to do their part, but I can't see Tennessee losing this game to the Houston Texans. And then also, go ahead, Aaron.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Would you rather move on from Zimmerman or Cousins?
I think I would move on from Zimmer. And I hate saying that because he really is a good coach, and I do like Mike Zimmer, but I look at the way the Vikings play, and there's no excuse for them to lose the games that they've been losing. And at some point, you have to start looking at the coach, because Kirk Cousins has actually played very well.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is doing his job every Sunday. And the Vikings keep coming up short because the coaching staff's making the wrong calls over there. Mm-hmm. You know, and so I think this has to be on Mike Zimmer. You're talking about a guy that is a defensive guru, and teams go through him like a hot knife through butter. You know, but this is what Mike Zimmer does, and he's not doing a good job of that. So I don't think that, you know, Kirk Cousins deserves to be criticized for the Vikings' inability to get into the playoffs. I would definitely, and again, Aaron, I hate saying it because I do think Mike Zimmer is a good coach, but this is like starting to become a recurring theme for the Vikings, like that for whatever reason they can't get it done. So yeah, I would say that Zimmer would be the guy I would kind of put the responsibility upon. And so with that being said, on Sunday at 1, it's the Steelers and Ravens. So there's something for both of these teams to play for. And so we'll see what happens there. Bengals and Browns, pretty much a meaningless game. Cincinnati can maybe improve to a number 2 seed at best. I think they're fairly locked in. That's and then that's at 1. And then 4:25, 49ers and Rams. Okay, and I think it's fairly meaningless for the Rams at this point, but the 49ers need to win this game. And the 49ers can win this game. That will be an interesting matchup. Panthers and Bucks, totally meaningless. Seahawks and Cardinals, totally meaningless. Patriots and Dolphins, also a meaningless game. Saints, Falcons, Jets, Bills. So that's pretty much it for Week 18, the final week of the NFL, what we've got coming up. We've said just about everything we could possibly say and discussed every possible scenario that could perhaps unfold as we go towards the playoffs. Want to ask you this before we get out of here, Aaron. Give me, sir, your Super Bowl pick.
Oh, man. Well, NFC is easy. That will be your Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I think you going through Lambeau. That's going to be a tough ass.
Yes, it will.
I don't think Double Check gonna have he ain't gonna have it this year.
Yeah.
So I think Green Bay is going to take it in there. The AFC, I'm gonna say the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going back.
Oh man, wow, well, dude, I think, man, this playoff deal is going to be so interesting because you look at the Rams in the NFC, where the Packers are concerned. You look at the Rams, you look at the Cardinals, you look at the Buccaneers, you look at the Cowboys. All 4 of those teams are fully capable of going up to Lambeau and winning. If Aaron and the boys are not watching themselves in those games, they could lose them.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
It's gonna be negative 25 degrees outside.
Well,
Rocket. It's gonna be the perfect scenario for Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay.
I like your pick with Kansas City, and I'm gonna say I that's my team, so I would be biased in this discussion to say Green Bay. Hey, that's my team. I'm going to root for them, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm being totally honest, and what I'm about to say, I hope I'm wrong about, and I've said it since the beginning of the year, we're going to see a repeat of Tampa and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. And I think that Tom Brady will win again. That's what I've been saying. Now, that being said, going up to Lambeau Field and it's minus whatever, if this scenario does occur, the Packers can't fail this time, Aaron.
They can't.
They just can't. You
The,
know?
the only this may sound well, I ain't gonna say it sounds strange, but the only team I say may have a good shot of beating them is the Buccaneers. Just because they
Right.
got just because of Tom Brady.
Yes.
That I think that's the only team that could go up there and knock them out.
That is the let me I will say this. I believe Aaron Rodgers is I think that he's I don't want to say he's scared of Tom Brady. I think he's intimidated though by Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Packers play as if they're intimidated when they're playing the Bucks.
Now that could screw in your head. It's a 4th and 4, and you in field goal range, and you looking at I got Tom Brady on the side. This second quarter, we up by 3. We could kick the field goal, go by. Let's go for it. Then you don't get it, and then Tom Brady marched down the field. But any other quarterback on the other side be like, man, let's kick the field goal. We'll be okay.
The only other time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can mess with your head. So I'm looking at it. I remember when Green Bay won in 2010, and Ben Roethlisberger was one of those dudes back in the day, and he had the ball on the last drive, and he wasn't able to get it done. And I didn't think we could stop Big Ben, but we did, and we got the ring. If it were to occur that Tom Brady had a final shot to engineer a winning drive, scoring drive. I just can't see us stopping him if it came down to that. But I like your pick, Green Bay and Kansas City, and I, being a Packer fan, would have to go with you on that because I'm a Packer fan. But, if I'm a guy that's just going up to Vegas and I don't care either way, I'd go Tom Brady and the Bucks versus Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But I do think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have a problem getting out of the AFC this year. Tennessee is going to be a real, legitimate problem for him. And I also think the Bengals, who just proved it already, are going to be a problem if he runs into Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And then you're looking at the Buffalo Bills and dare I say the New England Patriots. Like, you better buckle your chin strap when you play the Patriots.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that Kansas City gonna just walk through.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be a tough go. But I think at the end of the day, they got the most talent, they got the most experience. To me, they got one of the best coaches ever. So Andy Reid, so best coaching staff too. So that's why I go with the Kansas City.
Okay, I love it, man. I tell you, we got a lot of football to sift through over the next month and a half, that's for sure, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition, along with Aaron Moore, former tight end at Bowie State University. And if you've enjoyed our conversation, you've enjoyed this show, hey, like it and share it and subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy Channel, as well as any social media engine that Aaron Moore is a part of. And real quick, Aaron, let everyone know how they can follow you on social media.
You can go to my Instagram account at Aaron Moore Photography. Also, you can look at www.aaronmorephotography.com.
All right. And also, if you're coming in on the end of the show and you're like, I missed it, well, it's okay, because tomorrow about midday, you can watch the whole thing on the Creative Motion Network on Roku TV. Also, want to let you guys know, if you really want to see a good sports movie, check this one out. It's in theaters now. It's called American Underdog with Kurt Warner. The Kurt Warner story. That is an awesome story about a born-again Christian who made it to the Super Bowl 3 times, won it once, and broke every record set by Joe Montana. So, Wood!
Big Wood.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance to get out to the theaters to see American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story. Please check it out. It's got my good buddy Brett Varvel in that film. He's playing Steve Mariucci. Let's see. Wood says, put Fortney on the show, Mo. Wood! I should have. I actually need to have Matt on. Matt's got some great commentary. I definitely got to get Matt on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next Monday at our normal time at 5 p.m. with Antoine Real Stewart and, again, Aaron Moore as well. Just getting through these holidays and a lot of stuff going on, Christmas and New Year. How was your Christmas and New Year's, by the way, Aaron?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
With two girls, man. It's a lot, You're still trying to get stuff back in order. So
Dude, I totally understand, man. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy it with your family and everybody stayed safe. I definitely had a great holiday with my family as well. So that being said, like I said, folks, next Monday at 5 p.m. we'll be back at our normal time. So we will see you next week. Everyone stay safe. Stay away from this crazy COVID-19, Omicron, and Megatron, whatever the Tron it is. Stay away. May the peace of Jesus Christ, Aaron, be with you and your family, brother. God bless you.
God bless.